So in my opinion, the only thing holding back the Breakout chassis is a big Breakout win. How's it going, everybody? I'm Chad. Welcome back to the Dorky and 40 RC channel. Guys, we got a lot of content coming up. Tekin, Sanwa Radio. We're going to try out some of this new Traxxas paint. We've just got a lot of stuff, racing, all that kind of stuff. Test tune, you name it, it's coming for you. Can't get to any of that content yet, though, until we talk about the Breakout chassis. So I put together a video over the past couple weeks of my first experiences with it, what I like about it, what I don't like, which there's really not much I don't like about it. And then starting tomorrow, I'm going to start really putting in some work into this. I've got this chassis set up, running, and I've got it down to like a 2.4 already, but I've totally changed things around, and we're going to be doing some more testing and all that good stuff, and it's going to be right here on the channel. Anyway, let's take a look. Here we go. This is it. These cars always amaze me when we look at them because they always just look so bigger than what you think they are until you slap the big old body on them. Now, the 5-star itself, my version here, has some of the things that I want to go over with online with you real quick, because this is one of the biggest benefits about the 5-star. And there's not very many negatives at all that I have came up with. There's just a couple things that I don't like that I wish was better, but they're easy to work around, and hopefully some of the others will improve. We'll talk about those in a bit. So going from front to back here on the car, we can see it comes with, I upgraded the body mounts here to the larger Custom Works body mounts. I've got the 5-star bullet box up front, Bob's box, that's got a couple weights in the front, servo, all that kind of stuff. All that stuff is in the build guide, so we won't go through it all. I will tell you, though, that the thing that's great about this is that you can just buy the kit from 5-star and then buy the B6 buggy kit, and you're good to go. That's one benefit that I see. If you go with a bullet chassis or something else, there's always like 5 or 6 other manufacturers that you have to deal with, whether it's our designs, whoever, just to name a few. Now in here, of course, I've got some other manufacturers stuff, but if you get the kit for the buggy and the 5-star kit, you're good to go. Everything else is just icing on the cake. Typically there is a top plate on here, but I removed the top plate just to save some weight and give it that more flat type of design. Now, if you look at this carbon here, I believe is 4mm thick, and they have a 3mm chassis that's a little bit thinner as well. Some people like the thinner chassis because the flex and the transfer of the weight and everything like that. You know, maybe one day I'll get there to like feel that and understand that. But right now, I think the stiffer car works out a lot better for me, and I think will for most drivers. Controlling things like resonance and vibrations in the road and all that kind of stuff, I think will give you a more successful platform when you are first starting out or trying to, you know, first get fast with a different power combination than you might be used to that maybe is in like your DR10 or something like that. And just having a good solid base to start off of is, I think, the key to making that happen. Or if the Bullet people, Mark Vine, end up coming out with their little flapper type of deal that they have, that they say they're coming out with, I might even try that on the car, because that would solve my problem of holding the body to the side, and also we would get that extra air dam performance. We'll see how that goes, maybe down the road. So I did cut the top plate right here and kind of leave this bracing piece in here just because that is where the transmission waterfall brace connects to. So I left that in there. The great thing about using the B6 kit is that it just comes with a lot of nice little things that you don't get, like say on a DR10. First of all, way more adjustability when it comes to your chassis, being able to raise, lower the hubs, move things around, move your turnbuckles around, space them up, all that kind of stuff. You get a couple different transmissions if you want to build a layback or a lay down. Of course, we're going to be going with the lay down in here. You get a lot of different pills to align your C and D blocks so you can affect toe and anti-squat and all that stuff. And 5-star gives you a complete setup sheet on how you want to build that. Some things deviate from like the kit setup, so make sure you check that out on the website, build instructions, for like the latest and greatest setup sheet. Of course, we've got a few different things going on here on the car. Modification wise, we've got, you know, smaller tires. I don't have my air fields on here today. We're running a Tekin RX8 Gen 3 with a Trinity 3-turn motor, Sanwa M17. So I'm pretty much doing everything that they're doing with the Bullet cars, except with a different chassis. And so far, it's working out. After working through a bunch of bugs and just kind of making sure things were put together correctly, I ended up starting like around 3.0, 2.9 second times or whatever, and I've slowly worked my way down. GNSS time, the fastest time so far is a 241. We all know on a tree that would be better, and that is running very, very limited timing inside the RX8, and no actual big additions to the 5-star. There are some things here on the back of the wheelie bar and stuff though that we're going to talk about. Let's look at those right now. So this is kind of where I made some of the additional purchases and switch things around a little bit. And I didn't cover this in my build series, but I'll go through it now. So recently, 5-star has changed. You can buy 3mm wheelie bar sides. They ship with 2 or 2.5. They're pretty flimsy. So I like these a lot better. I've also purchased their upgraded standoff kit because the kit does come with plastic standoffs, and I just don't think that's good. They should have just included these somehow, even if they would have had to adjust the price a little bit. They might do that in the future, who knows. So you do also have to pick up a shock. This is an Revo shock that I'm using, and it's limited slightly. 2K fluid in there, just like the setup sheet. And you're gonna see some things back here that don't come in the kit, and we'll work our way from the top down. The top here is their elevated extended shock mount, and this is awesome because it allows you to do this one shock setup here and just makes this assembly way easier. It's very overcomplicated, I think, but when you're trying to attach flat pieces of carbon to like 3D printed parts and stuff, I understand things can get a little complicated. Now underneath that is one of their newest addition. So the wheelie bar side mounts, this is the box that has the side mounts and also has weights, tungsten weights inside of it. Not sure how much it weighs, but it does help add weight where you need it on a mid-motor car, kind of simulating and having a motor right there. So that's definitely helping out. The other thing is that it has inserts in the side. So instead of using either the provided 3D printed parts, brass sides, or aluminum machine sides, you're actually using this box to go ahead and screw in the wheelie bar, and that makes things really simple and easy. So off camera here, I've got Traxxas wheelie bar wheels on here. I don't think you can see those. Typically maybe like right around here, actually down a little bit further off camera, is where you could actually put the Bob's wheelie bar weight box, I guess. I have that. I don't use it yet. I haven't found a need for it, and I kind of don't want to, just because they're having the extra mass on the end there. If you get caught in a bad braking situation and you slam into something, things can go bad really quick. So let's start with the things that I don't like about the chassis and the experience altogether. First of all, when it comes to the chassis, some of the things that I don't like is, I understand the battery holder. The thing that's kind of bad about it is that, you know, even using like red Loctite, when you're screwing down your batteries and stuff like that, you will get your standoffs underneath there. They will unscrew. So that's been kind of a pain in the neck. We have to kind of work on that a little bit every once in a while. But again, not a big deal. No, nothing that can't be worked around. One thing that I also am just kind of disappointed about is some of the pricing on some of the add-on items, especially like the side body mount kits that they sell. They sell these nice little pieces that I wish they sold on their own, not this right here, but some servo mounts with some holes drilled into them. I would rather do that and then buy my own stuff. but you know, those are a little expensive. So things can add up if you start adding, you know, little piece by piece. I mean, at this point, with what I have known about the car and how much fun I've been having with it, it's really hard to nitpick things on the car. Descriptions of some of their optional upgrades don't go far enough to like actually tell you what to do. I didn't even think anybody was using hardly any of the stuff, because you never hear anybody of them on the larger podcast that talks about it. But you don't see any of the team drivers really talking about the stuff on the page and mention them. Jared actually did do a lengthy post and discussion after a few people were giving the community grief again about not putting a lot of information out there. And he went through and kind of showed everything that was on his car and spoke about some things and took questions, which is super great. It just shouldn't have to come to that. I mean, if you're paying people or whatever these RC sponsorships are, I mean, I don't even know what that is, you know? I mean, I have a job, but anyway, I think they should push those guys a little bit more. You compare that to the Bullet experience on Facebook, and you see how many more people are posting a day and just all the communication about anything RC. It's just a great place to be a part of. Now, granted, they have 3,500 members on that page, and there's about 650 right now on the 5-star page, so it is understandable that you wouldn't get stuff. And that goes back to my first point, that the Breakout chassis is only one win away from becoming a Breakout success. So if they become that kind of success, how hard is it going to be to get parts and everything else? Right now it's fairly easy. Their websites are always stocked, their shipping has been great, everything's shipped fast. They're a full-fledged hobby store that has access to all these machines. They've innovated like crazy. You know, there's been so many things just for this rear end. Jared said they're working on a specialized roll bar package that is a combination of like 3 or 4 different roll bar ideas from different manufacturers. So that's just fantastic. So what do you guys think? I think it's great. I love the way that it just feels. My first carbon real chassis compared to the stock tub DR10 that, you know, is cracked and everything. It feels like I'm racing a super sports car right now with this thing. And when I got that Tekin power in there and the Sanwa and all that stuff, it really just has this like really cool sound. It's fun having another car to play with. I'll still be doing some stuff to the DR10. It's kind of on the back burner right now. Not 100% sure what I'm going to do with that. Maybe wait and see how these classes evolve nationally and locally. I don't want to waste money on like 13.5 stuff if I don't have any 13.5 people to race with, or if the 13.5 class completely changes. And there is a chance that I just will not dig this Tekin setup. There's people that are doing things with Sanwa and DRK together now, and they're producing some pretty dang good times, even with 3-turn motors. So maybe we scrap the whole 2.5 turn and go back to something a little bit bigger and just see what we can do. The one thing is that winter is coming. We've literally only got probably 2 or 2.5 months at the most left of racing here in Ohio. That's why I've got that baby up there built and ready to go. That's just going to be one of the things that we're going to be running it this year at the local indoor track. So thanks a lot for stopping by, guys. Let me know if you got any questions. I'm sure you will in the future if you're not that interested now. Get that breakout win, guys. Peace.